Now on BBC2, the doyens of DIY have only 48 hours.
This week's home front is a rather special edition. We're here in Nottingham on the newly built estate of Wimpey Homes at Maple Grove for the final of the Amateur Decorator of the Year competition. At the beginning of the series, we asked you whether you had what it takes to be a top decorator like Anne McKevitt, Peter Plaskett or Kevin MacLeod. Judging by the entries and the consistently high quality of the things you sent in, there's an awful lot of talent out there. One of the 3 finalists here with me today will win the title of Amateur Decorator of the Year. The contestants are, in the blue team, full-time mother of 2 Victoria Turner and her helper Bob Redman. Victoria impressed our judges with the mosaic of colour in her Bristol cottage. In the green team, we have roughneck Dax Osborne from Aberdeen and his helper Jim Regan. It was Dax's orange bedroom with hand-painted zebra-striped ceiling which gained him a place in the final. And in the red team, musician Danielle Dax and her helper Syke. Danielle's Brixton flat gained high marks for originality and impact. Each finalist has been challenged to decorate the sitting room of one of these new homes with as much innovation, flair and creativity as they can muster on a budget of £300 and in just 2 days. It won't be easy as the rooms are completely plain. Our contestants will also have to stretch their imaginations and their budgets to transform the Artex ceilings and the untreated concrete floors. It's a huge challenge and your time starts in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Each team has also been given a plain calico-covered sofa to customise to match their scheme. The judges will include our resident home front designers, who will also be popping in over the 2 days to offer help and advice. Peter Plaskett went off to see what Dax Osborne was planning.
What's your overall look for in here?
Well, the look we're trying to achieve is like a scientific test lab. The walls are going to be dark blue with like a graph paper light blue grid painted over the top of them, like similar to an Olympic pool volume marker.
Anne McKevitt was intrigued to find out what Danielle Dax had in mind.
So Danielle, tell me what you're going to do. God, you've already done this story now. You don't hang around, do you?
No.
So what kind of look are you going to go for?
It's going to be sort of Gardener's World meets outer space high-tech. I think it's the best way to describe it at the moment.
So Star Trek and Jet Hamilton mixed together.
Yeah, something like that.
I get the picture.
Yeah.
And I went to see what Victoria Turner was planning.
So Victoria, what have you got lined up for this room?
Well, I think we're going to have a mixture of colonialism style with wicker, and then we're going to mix up some fabulous earth colours for the tribal look.
And so what do you do when you see a room like this first, when you start to decorate?
Panic.
At the end of the show, our judges will be awarding the Decorator of the Year trophy to the winning team. But we'd like to know which decorator you like best. So we'll give you the opportunity to vote at the end of the programme. If you'd like to take part, keep the phone handy. Anne, what do you think of the contestants' plans? Can you see any pitfalls so far?
Yes, I think Dax may possibly run out of time because he's doing very, very intricate details. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually finishes the room. Definitely Danielle's going to probably finish about 4 o'clock today, I would think, and have all of tomorrow off. So she's way ahead of herself.
And how do you think Victoria's getting on?
Well, she's worryingly organised. I went in there and she's got all these amazing colour charts out and everything, so I think she's going to give us all a run for our money.
It seemed to work.
Victoria's scheme was based on wide stripes of hand-mixed paint.
It looks quite biscuity in there when you see it en masse, but once it's next to that, It's a good tone between the two, isn't it?
Calm precision was already beginning to contrast quite sharply with the more improvisational approach of the red team.
Wait a minute. If it's not straight, it doesn't matter, we'll trim it. Oh, this is a joke.
Danielle had decided to conceal her Artex ceiling using sheets of Mylar plastic film.
I've got another one over there, so yeah, a red one.
The blue team were busy testing out their colours.
Well, the paint mixing's going quite well. I'm having a little trouble making up this lovely lilac and just experimenting a little bit with a bit more red, just to give it a bit more warmth.
You forget which ones are wet dacks and which ones are dry, you know, your eyes go a bit crossed as well. But that's just quality. Picasso.
John Hibbert, sales manager of Wimpy Homes, was also on the judging panel. Had you got any idea what to expect when Homefront came to visit?
No, not really. I think if I had, I probably wouldn't have continued.
Oh, don't say that.
No.
What do you think people's priorities are when they've got a new house like this and they're decorating their sitting room?
I think when you're buying a brand new house, obviously it's totally different to buying a second-hand house because you're getting a totally plain wall, totally plain ceilings. Everything is there for you to impose your own sort of ideas on. So I think the first priority has really got to be for them to impose their own ideas of decoration onto the home itself.
And what as a judge are you going to be looking for?
I think I'm looking for good use of colour, good use of materials, and just some new ideas, really. Hello.
Hello.
How are you getting on?
Oh, not too bad, I think.
I'll tell you what, I like that. The ceiling is really great.
Good, I'm glad you're
Yeah, I haven't seen that sort of treatment of Artex before.
Yes, there's a sort of sky effect.
So you're going to continue using different colour right the way through?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what about the windows?
We've got some split bamboo to go up over the windows, so it's got a sort of
again,
colonial
it's
feel
continuing.
and yeah.
Yeah, if I go up here,
What's the theme here then? What are you going to be doing?
it's going to be sort of organic high-tech, if that's
Organic
possible.
high-tech.
Yes, I've got lots of fur fabric to put over things, and Syke and I are making a table out of like some tree trunks round the corner that we found, which I'm going to spray silver as well.
I look forward to seeing it. It's certainly moving on a
You won't be
pace.
moving in though, will you?
No, I don't think so. Not quite my style, but I'll reserve judgment until the end. But it's certainly coming on.
You can have a staple if you want.
Victoria was continuing the tribal look by customising her sofa with her own simple method of batik. She uses masking tape rather than hot wax and mixes her own colour wash by adding extra pigment to diluted fabric paints.
Damn, got it on.
So these are actually mirrors, are
They're
they?
mirrored plastic, yeah.
So you're just going to pull that stuff off? So it's not going to actually look like this when you finish?
No, you can see a little bit there. It can be very shiny and hopefully clean, although there's a bit of tape over that, unfortunately. But, you know, you want to maximise any sense of height and space.
Dax and Jim in the green team
How's that?
were extending their geometric patterns by adding
Yeah, that was good,
circles
Dax,
to their sofa with fabric paint.
Finished. Easy, buddy.
Perhaps I was a bit premature peeling that off. Anyway, it does work though. I think I better leave it to dry, otherwise it's all going to go.
But Danielle's Mylar was still giving her problems.
This bit went wrong, so I'm trying to smooth it out as much as possible, because that's going to be painted anyway, so Fingers crossed.
Her helper, Syke, was customising cheap blinds from B&Q with more acrylic spray paint.
What are you going to do with lights and stuff? Have you got anything for that?
Yeah, we've got a couple of very boring old paper, you know, circular jobs. Which we shall clear them up, no end.
So what are you going to do to them?
I think it's a wait and see job.
Is it wait and see? Top secret, is it?
And these bits are going to get silver felt tipped over down here. There's botch bits at the bottom.
As she started to hand paint her fronds, Danielle began to worry about time. As the first day drew to a close, each team realised just how much they still had to do. Particularly Danielle, who was feeling very low. All three teams worked on late into the night. But they were up bright and early, ready for the challenge of day 2. Sometime around midnight, the green team had painted their floor with an industrial rubber coating, and by the morning it still hadn't dried.
It's a floor drying rocket. Yeah. Just get on it and sound, mate. Sound. That's all right, mate. Excellent, yeah. I'll do the job.
Hello, Danielle.
Oh, hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going. Getting there.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I have to say, yesterday I had reservations, and now I think I've got even more reservations. No, it is. I mean, it's totally different. It's like nothing I have ever seen before.
By mid-morning, the chair of the judges, Kevin MacLeod, had arrived.
Morning, Jack.
How's it going?
Yeah, all right. How are you?
Not too bad.
Have you been here all night?
Well, I've got finished at 3 o'clock this morning and back on at 9.
It's shaking.
And so it's
I have to say, it sort of pays off, because I love this blue, and I think the pattern is really very strong. It's very good.
Yeah, it's just dead labour intensive, you know?
Yeah, you've done what? Half? No?
About half, yeah.
And the floor is superb. What is it?
It's an epoxy-based rubberised industrial floor coating, like warehouse floors.
Quite soft. It's quite sort of, you know, it feels like, it doesn't feel like concrete anymore.
It is rubbery, yeah. I mean, it does actually feel like rubber.
So it's a synthetic coating. How does it take to dry?
Well, it's supposed to dry in 2 hours, sort of recoatable overnight, but it's taken a little bit longer, I think, because it's gone down on fresh concrete.
Oh, right, it's a bit damp.
Yeah.
Still, it's dry enough to walk on at least, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be dry soon.
Danielle had made a good start, outlining her hand-painted fronds using black felt tip markers. But she still had a long way to go. The blue team had added a soft grey to their palette of colours.
Colonial meet tribal.
And Bob was giving the edges definition with thin electrical tape.
It has a sort of strangely sort of ancient look about it, you know, Greek or Phoenician or
Well, that sort of pillared effect.
Assyrian, yeah, the way that it goes over the top and across the floor and everything, there's sort of vertical stripes, quite strong. Very primitive, yeah.
Around midday, Daisy Goodwin, editor of Homefront, and the 5th judge arrived.
I'm going to be looking for the kind of tips that viewers can take away, you know, because that's the idea with Homefront, that there's always something that you think, oh, I could do that. So I'm going to be looking for the sort of things that, you know, I could do this weekend, or you could do this weekend, to our sitting rooms, which may not be that different from this, for the same kind of money, £300.
Syke's silver acrylic paint spray even worked on the glass doors.
Wow. That's like being a mint arrow, isn't it?
You're having fun now.
Yes, it's better. It's better this morning.
After the sort of trials yesterday afternoon, it was,
periods, as you know.
Well, it's coming on. So, I better let you carry on painting.
I think so, yes. We mustn't get sort of false sense of security.
Yeah, it's something that Victoria and I thought of literally in the van on the way up here.
He just wanted a large, very large curtain pole ends. What better can you get than a bullcock?
So Victoria, are you actually worried about anything, or are you completely on top of it?
Well, I'm a little worried that I am completely on schedule, so...
So you're worried that you're not worried?
Exactly, yeah.
There's a real easy way of doing this.
Much
quicker. What we should have done is painted all the walls the colour that we're using now, and then got some signwriters tape, which is real low tack.
Okay.
Done all your grid with signwriters tape, then got your roller, done all your blue, rolled the lot, and then just peel it all off.
So you'd basically just be rolling a load of blue squares on.
Yeah. Been so quick.
Danielle made a start on the legs for her coffee table.
Bullcocks.
Could I ask how you put the rings on?
Bob had glued on the curtain pole ends without putting on the rings, but Kevin saved the day.
Like that one, Kevin? Sorry, that's really smart.
I thought I'd better ask.
Let's slide them on quick.
Just before, you know?
Thank you.
Just before.
Who are you?
Yeah, much quicker than I was.
Oh, that's getting sticky.
Gosh, they look really good. Almost human. They look a bit phallic.
They do, don't they? Well, I mean, they're going to be my table legs. And they actually look like they're legs, don't they? Like torsos and legs. That one's rude.
So this is, I mean, it's sort of like, you know, the shape, and it's almost, so it's a torso, like you say. It's super.
How's it going then, Dax?
Not too bad. We've still got quite a lot left to do, but it's going on a lot quicker now.
I'm a bit worried. You've got 2.5 hours left. Do you think you're going to have to leave some patches unfinished?
Well,
kind of rethink what you're doing, or?
I hope not, but we'll look at it again in about an hour's time, and that's really our sort of cut-off point.
Syke was using salvage to create Danielle's version of a sideboard.
It's going to stand up against the wall and be a mock sideboard, if you like, with lights shining out behind it through the polycarbonate. Should give quite a nice effect, we think.
The curtain pole, now complete with rings, was finally in place. Danielle had added an old cupboard door to her coffee table legs.
Right, Victoria, you ready for this?
Oh no.
You've got 1 hour to go.
Thank you very much.
Get going.
Danielle was going to glue her fun fur to the sofa.
Just a small one, just looking for some blue PVC tape.
What will happen if you can't find it?
I'll use black.
Dax had brought 2 lamps with him, which he'd made from geological drilling equipment. Syke's sideboard was coming on apace.
It's amazing how they've all come together in the last couple of hours, and they are so completely different. At the beginning you think, yeah, they're really well organised, and then sort of halfway through you think maybe they weren't quite that well organised. And no, it's been really very interesting over the last couple of days, and I'm amazed how they've transformed it so quickly.
Dax had designed hinged wooden brackets to hold his window hangings, but he was going to be hard pushed to get them installed.
What you need the A-team on it.
Just found the tape. Hey, well done. What was that for? That's just to finish off your striped there. You're very meticulous, aren't you?
Good try.
I need 4 screws in the folder. Whoa.
The brackets were up, but would Dax have time to hang the silver space blankets that he was going to use as curtains? Teams 1, 2 and 3, you have seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, put down your tools.
Okay.
That's it. Let's go.
Who would the judges choose to be the Homefront Amateur Decorator of the Year? Would they pick roughneck Dax Osborne, helped by his teammate Jim Regan? He had set out to create a scientific test lab look. He had complemented the geometric grid on the walls with circular details in the accessories. He'd even hand-painted circles on his sofa. And he'd finished it off using silver space blanket as curtaining.
You know, a lot of people don't like that, and some people find it immensely appealing.
I mean, I think what's quite strange is there's a lot of us in here and it still feels very echoey. It's got a very unhomely feel to it.
Yeah, it's a kind of bachelor pad, really, isn't it? It's kind of like for a sort of swinging man about town or oil rigger about Aberdeen.
The really attractive bit of this room is where they've used the square and the circle. It's something I wouldn't have done ordinarily, but I think the two together work very well, which is quite surprising, really.
Yeah, it's really neat.
And also it's got all these
Also
squares.
translucent, you can see through it.
Can you?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the trees through them. You can see them.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Or would the judges choose musician Danielle Dax, helped by her teammate Syke? Danielle's scheme combined Gardner's World with Star Trek. Her organic high-tech look used silver mylar, silver acrylic spray and plastic mirrors on the walls. She'd made her coffee table and mock sideboard cum fireplace from salvage. She'd covered her sofa in matching green fur fabric.
Good grief.
God, golly.
Hey, hey, hey.
What it would be like to be inside a microwave.
Kind of quite breathtaking, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just...
Well, I certainly felt the Artex problem.
And I saw this yesterday morning and I thought, there's no way I'm going to vote for this one. But I have to say, it's really...
Yeah.
It's inspirational, isn't it? I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that it is totally outrageous.
Yeah.
But it's just...
I mean, I have to say that although I'm, you know, knocked out by it in many ways, I don't think I could live in it for more than about 2 seconds, actually. It's just completely overwhelming.
I could spend the evening in it. I think I really could. What are you going to do in a sitting? I know. I mean, maybe I couldn't sit and play with the kids on a Saturday afternoon, but I think I could sit. I could sit here and play some Acid House Jungle.
But you know what it's like? It's like that hair. So you remember the poster for hair, which had all the sort of squiggly things?
Yeah.
That really feels like, you know, where she's got it from.
But I think from a value for money point of view, it's got an incredible feeling that this has actually been done for £300.
Yes.
It's just amazing.
It is incredible. I think that. And the coffee table, for example, is almost made from reclaimed materials, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the sound that some neighbour chopped down the tree. To have that sort of...
Reclaimed mandrakes.
I think there's a lot of originality in this.
Would the judges choose full-time mother of 2 Victoria Turner, helped by her teammate Bob Redman? Victoria had created a colonial meets tribal look. She'd covered the concrete floor with rush matting. She'd based her whole scheme around this Fijian tree bark hanging and some favourite leather chairs. She'd developed her own method of batik to colour wash her sofa and used split bamboo for the blinds.
This one feels much more to me like, much more livable, much more relaxed, more researched, more kind of, rich.
It seems less finished though. I mean, I think the ceiling looks absolutely dreadful. There's it's 70% very, very good, and that last 30% just isn't there.
It is not resolved.
But she's done great things like this sofa.
Yeah, the sofa is fantastic. I mean, you can't really see it, but I mean, that's such a clever idea and so simple. Anyone could do this. You just put masking tape and then you dip it in dye. I mean, I think that's a really clever idea, and it looks like batik and it, you know, looks like a really expensive batik fabric.
I think the sofa is lovely, the ideas are good, but I think she could have taken it that little bit further and picked up some of the deep design in here.
In a sense, I think it is the only one that I could spend more than about 5 minutes in, which to me is quite an important point.
There are lots of elements alike. I really like how she's done the three lights, one under the other, and how one lot are quite brown and one are quite tan.
I mean, I could imagine, you know, taking something away from this room and thinking, well, you know, she hasn't quite got it right, but there are elements here and colours here used together which are really quite original and, you know, make me think, yeah, you know.
The couple buying this house actually want to keep it as it is. And, you know, they want to keep the floor covering, everything. They've asked if we can give them a price for it. So it's obviously very livable from their point of view.
Who did you give the highest marks to?
I gave, and I think Dax made a mistake that his was the only room that was very, very
I
masculine.
mean, I think it would have been a wonderful look to say a loft in the middle
Also,
of
the only person who has an unresolved design.
Yeah.
And the two things are not coincidental.
I'm glad that we are almost unanimous about the winner because I do dissent slightly from our choice, but I'm going to go with the majority here. I'll just be very interested to see what the viewers think of our choice and who they vote for, you know, afterwards. That'll be interesting.
If you would like to register your vote for the Homefront Amateur Decorator of the Year, you can do so by phoning in. The lines close at midnight and the maximum charge for each call is 10p. To vote for Dax Osborne's Scientific Test Lab look, phone 0891 44 7701. To vote for Danielle Dax's Organic High-Tech look, phone 0891 44 7702. To vote for Victoria Turner's Colonial Meets Tribal look, phone 0891 44 7703. And the viewer's choice will be announced in next week's programme. Well, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Kevin, as you're the chair of the judges, can you do the honours? I don't know who's won it. I'm so excited. I'm very nervous for everybody.
Well, I have to say, it has been the most frantic time for us because we've all had a very, very hard time trying to figure out who was the winner. And in fact, it was a very, very tight result. But there can only be one winner. So I am delighted to announce that the 1997 Homefront Amateur Decorator of the Year is Danielle Dax.
But let's not forget our two contestants, because you both did brilliantly, absolutely brilliant. And I really didn't know who to choose. I think you're fantastic. Congratulations. It was a very close run contest, but the judges awarded the prize to Danielle Dax because she had designed everything herself, including the furniture, to complete her look. Well, that's it from the Wimpy Estate at Maple Grove in Nottingham. From all of us, crew, cast, contestants, security, and the neighbours, of course. Bye-bye. See you next week.
And here are those numbers again. Vote for Dax Osborne on 0891 447701. Vote for Daniel Dax on 0891 447702. And vote for Victoria Turner on 0891 447703.